Okay, we're back with Pudding. It's been a while. It's been far, far too long since I rode this horse or done anything with this horse. And I'm desperately, desperately trying not to feel guilty. I think in the last video I even was going, right, we're going to start a new routine and it's going to be great. And then the universe decided to throw some tough stuff at me, emotionally. And got through it, we're doing good, everything's good. Don't worry, I'm okay. But yeah, I couldn't find the emotional energy to work with this horse. I don't know if that's even the right term, but I found it very difficult. And I've known for a while that I need to start again. I need to work some more with him. And I'm up working late in my office. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to grab him and I'm just going to have some fun with him. I'm not going to make myself ride, I'm just going to do an online session. Nothing overly exciting. But I just know we spent so long working on a nice routine with him. I know there's going to be parts of the routine that he's not remembered, he's not done for a while, and so the one thing in particular that I'm really aware of that I know is bothering him is flappy things. We had a big scare. I don't know if you remember, there was a big storm a little while back, and bless him, he was tied up and a piece of guttering blew off and nearly hit him, or at least in his mind it nearly hit him. It was quite far away actually. So one of the things I really want to work on is flappy things and get him into doing tarpaulins as well. We haven't done any work on tarpaulins. Really get that friendly game up to another level on the ground. Because I realised that I've done so much friendly game with Puff, and I kind of forget that Pudding just hasn't had that experience with me of getting to learn about. That's it, but keep the shoulder moving and slow down a bit. You're rushing it. There, you got it. Yeah, you remember. Nice and slow. Good boy. And bring the shoulder through. Nice and slow. I know, don't give me the grumpy face. Little habits that we've lost, hey? Little things we've kind of gotten slack about how we carry ourselves. A little out of practice where I've just been dragging you in and out of the field each day. But yeah, so flappy obstacles is one thing, and yeah, just to get back into doing stuff, back into a routine, getting him fit again. I'm also going to do some long lining, taking him out long lining, which will be fun, won't it, bud? So I'll try and record that with my GoPro. It's going to be fun to play with that, because I know he needs to get out and see the world again. He's had a bit of time where he's just not left the yard, and he's kind of he's the kind of horse that gets what I'd describe as small world syndrome, or there's a proper word for it, you guys probably know it, where basically he starts to create problems in his local environment because he's not seeing bigger problems in life. So he starts to make his little world become scary, even though actually nothing's happening. But he's that kind of horse. He's the kind of horse that likes to come up with things and can be quite angsty and things like that. And it's okay, you just need to always be giving him things to think about so his brain can't get on that angsty state. Is basically he's not been thinking enough, so his mind has started making up problems. That's what it basically boils down to. Hacking is one of the really quick, really easy ways to fix that, but you don't hack in a way. The hacking isn't for you, right? The hacking is to get Pudding to start thinking about his environment around him. So you're not trying to get anywhere, you're not trying to exercise him. It's about getting him, you remember, don't you? That a boy. It's about getting him to look at stuff, see stuff, and get his brain engaged on obstacles. I mean, you can go for entire rides without your horse ever really thinking about what it's doing. So we don't want that. Not what we want. We want to do a slower hack where he's stopping and engaging his mind, because we want to wear that big brain out. Because you're very smart. It's kind of the curse of being intelligent, I think, is that your brain can work against you. And I totally get that one. I'm not going to name any names, but we know some people like that, don't we? So I'm not surprised that you'd get it as well. I'm also possibly going to change the way I do the talking on these videos. Not really. I've only just gotten good at doing the talking, but I found that There was a few times before where I was riding Pudding, and I noticed when I was talking I was riding much worse. So when I'm doing something that requires concentration, I'm going to disconnect the audio. We're not doing anything difficult now, so I can sort of chat away about my thoughts. I hope you guys don't mind, because it's just verbal diarrhea. It's just whatever's in my head. What? What's this? What's happening down here with the feet? There we go. Such a lovely boy. This is a problem, you're way too cute. Aren't you? Come on, let's get you moving a little bit. I can't you can't be taking your rug off and then having you stand still. Can we? Even if it was just a stable rug. Well, let's just see how you move if I just leave you alone for a little bit, hey? Let's give you 5 minutes at trot, something like that. We're quite lazy, it would appear. A little stiff behind maybe too. Ooh, but not by much. Look at that sexy pony. There's the clock. Okay. It's something again I realise I've done a lot with Puff. There's a lot of things when I was sitting and writing down, I did an exercise where I just write down all the exercises I know I've done with Puff and all the exercises I know I've done with Pudding. And I was just there going, wow, I've missed stuff. I just haven't had time to do a lot of the stuff. Some of it's not that crucial to his development. It'd just be good for him to do, good relationship building. Good boy. And one of the things I'm terrible for is not leaving him out there for long enough to just trot. He's very handsome though. I wonder how long it would take you to actually start being naughty on the circle. Start playing with me. One of the things that Zoe said about him when she played with him is that it sometimes can feel like he's not present. He's just doing the exercises because he's obedient. He was definitely trained very well in jumping, and one of the side effects of that can be a horse that doesn't express itself as well. That's not always the case, but Zoe sort of felt that in his groundwork, that maybe there was a little bit of a hyper-obedience almost. Though I think as well, for a lot of people, is having an exuberant, playful horse on the ground is not a requirement. So having a horse that's just obedient and does the exercises is actually possibly preferable. I just love a horse that gives you some shit on the ground. Gives you a bit of back and forth. Gives you something to play with. I'm realising I should have done this trot on the other rein first, I think. And we got lazy, you Pud. Nice canter, Pud. Oh, I love that extended trot that you do. It's such a sexy extended trot. Keep that canter a little longer. Kind of liked that uprighty canter you were doing there, right at the end there. We're sort of cantering slower but more upright. I just want to make that neck stronger. It is a good boy. I actually have a trot the other way now. That's what I like to see. I realise this video might be a little bit boring, but I'm going to love watching it back. Hopefully it's not too boring for you guys. I think though, it's the big misunderstanding with horse training is that it is actually quite tedious. You do spend a lot of time just going around in circles, following the rail, changing the balance. And if you do all of the preparatory steps right, then you go and you do the big show, or you do the big competition, and because you've prepared everything and practiced it, it's all there ready. He said, having never really competed in his life other than Western. But yeah, no, it's the same idea. You practice, and then on the day, it's all the horse finds what you're doing easy. So yeah. See you later. I love watching this horse trot. He's got such a flowy trot, don't you? One of the things with my horses is they are very fit because they fight in the field constantly. I watch them up there battling each other, playing gallopy games and rearing games. There's 5 boys all in one field and they just trash it. That's a better head carriage, Bud. It's lazy, but it's quite like that. The idea here is a simple idea. When people lunge, in brackets, versus circle a horse, attaboy, what tends to happen is they do a very short burst of something, right? It's 1 cluck for trot, Bud, not 2 clucks for canter. I do like the canter though, it's nice. And the trouble with that is simple. The horse doesn't really get to think about their gait very much, because they're sort of being chased round and round. Good. Got confused with what that aid meant. You saw I just thought I wanted more forward, because I've been asking him forward a lot. Good boy. Good. So the idea behind this trot exercise, it's not quite lunging, because when you lunge you're constantly pushing the horse. You're trying to make the horse go into the right frame. You're trying to get the horse to do it right, yeah? And that's what I define as lunging. You're using all the tricks and all the pressure you have to try and sort of finagle the horse into the correct movement. And it's good. It's not. There is a time and a place for it, and I think Puds has been lunged quite a bit. What's interesting is if you leave a horse alone for a long time, you'll find that they end up developing economical habits that are actually really good, right? Ways of carrying themselves that's actually really good. You can see Pudding starting to round his neck a little bit more rather than hollowing it so much, and you can see his back lengthening. I don't like how low he's going in the front, and he's sort of dragging him. That's nice though. We're getting that sort of rounded effect. And I'm not making him do that. It's just that the muscles that he's been using. Oh, look at that neck starting to. You might not be able to see, but his neck's starting to move a bit more. The muscles that he's been using to trot are getting tired from trotting, and because I'm not nagging at him to keep going, he starts to experiment. He's got nothing else to think about. There's no danger. So he starts to go, oh, I wonder what happens if I do this with my neck, and it allows him to experiment a little bit. It doesn't work with all horses. It's not always appropriate. It's a nice exercise to pepper into all your other stuff. And you want the horse, when you're doing it, to become like him, where they're like, oh, a little lazy. I don't really want to do it. It's hard. Because that shows that he's starting to get that kind of like, that treadmill effect. If you've ever run on a treadmill, you find that you get to a point where your brain just zombifies and all you can think about is the next step. And that's what I'm looking for with him. Is that sort of so relaxed that it's hard for him to think about anything else. Oh, he's a good pud. You're such a good pud. Was that a long exercise? Do we make you work for a really long time? You're such a handsome boy. You're not even puffing though. So I know you haven't worked that hard. Because you're not even puffing, are you? Hey? You funny boy. We're going to work on a flag now. We're going to scare you. It's going to be scary. Oh no. Don't like the flag, do you, Pud? You might play with the ball as well. Can you play with the ball? No, that'd be it for today. I don't want to do a huge amount. Excuse me. Oof, it's getting cold, Pud. We don't want to spend too long standing still, do we? Because that would just be terrible. Oh no, Pud. Look what I've got for you. It's your friend. It's your friend the flag. Good boy. And the wind as well. Oh no. Oh dear. That's actually much better than I thought it would be. You remember the flag, hey? Pudding's funny because he gets a real, he locks up a bit with the flag. I like that he's trying to sniff it though. That's a really good thing. And it's just something, I want him to see it every day, right? I want him to see these flappy things and connect, you see how he's connected to it, he's looking at it, he's checking it out, rather than just locking up and ignoring it. Sometimes I find if the horse stands still, they can kind of just ignore the thing. And it's fine if he's ignoring it in a I don't care about it way. It's not fine if he's ignoring it in a, like there. Do you see how he's locked up? Eyes have gone all wide. I'm actually going to use it to get midges off you. Get the midges off you. How dare those midges be on you? Terrible. Terrible midges all over you. Can't believe it, Pud. It's not even that hot. Come on then. Atta boy. Keep those midges off you, dude. It's much harder for him to lock up if he's walking. That's why I often walk him while I'm doing things like this. It's not impossible for him to lock up when he's walking, but it's harder for him, right? It's so sweet how you know you're not, you know the game now, don't you? You know what I'm looking for. Again, it's that question of, is he doing it because, is he just doing it because he's obedient? Sometimes it's easier if they're really explosive. That was far better than I was anticipating, Pud. Oh no, my ball's all deflated. Puds, I can't use that today. Sorry, Pud. Well, should we just leave it at that then? We've had fun, haven't we? Not done a huge amount. It's nice to get you out. I think next time I'll bring out a tarpaulin. That'll really scare you. I know it will. It was one of the things on my list of I haven't done tarpaulin with Pud. You do way better with that flag. You're way good with that flag though. Huh. Attaboy. Interesting to see where he's at. He's been a lot more jumpy around the yard, so it might just be that I have to do some sessions on the yard, because maybe he's associating the yard as being the scary place, and in here he's kind of I get it. Or maybe it was the warm-up we did, kind of got you ready. Like I said, this is a super short session. It is 5 to 9 on a Monday morning. I've been up since 4:45. And I just really wanted to do something with my horse, even though I've worked all day. It's not much, but it's something, isn't it, Bud? Played with Puff and Lollipop yesterday on live stream. It's great fun. I'll play with you a little today. Maybe ride you tomorrow. Maybe I'll play with Puff and Lollipop. I do have a clinic with Puff and Lollipop coming up though, so yeah, maybe I'll probably need to work on them more than on you, as much as I love working with you. Big kid. Yeah, we're just going to snuggle and eat some grass, I think. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a short one, simple one. But yeah, a lot of fun. No more sweeties. Ooh, you're so naughty. You're so spoiled with your little tiny little lips. But yeah, see you later.